Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order Monday, August 3rd, 2026 at 6 p.m. here at the town hall. In motion to adopt the agenda.
Sort of.
All in favor of the agenda?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Approve the minutes of regular meeting July 20th, 2026. The only correction I saw, and I don't know if you've already corrected it, Morgan, is the name for Dave Younce. It's Younce. Yes. Are there any corrections to the minutes of July 20th? Hearing none, I'll need a motion to approve those minutes.
Sort
Any discussion? All in favor of approving the minutes for regular meeting July 20th, 2026?
Aye.
Any opposed? Approve the bids for municipal energy resilient program.
We have Mike McConnell on Zoom, who is going to, Mike, if you could just walk us through the bids and kind of explain your communication so far.
Sure, hold on, let me turn up my volume real quick. There we go, okay. So yeah, we received two bids for the boiler replacement. One from DeCamp Plumbing and Heating, and the other one from James Plumbing and Heating. So the I think in your packet they'll show up, the DeCamp bid shows up first, and that's $44,463. They're essentially for the same thing. They're being replaced. The current boiler is being replaced with a new high efficiency propane unit. Both the bids do the same thing, right? They're going to replace it. Covers all of the labor, materials, so on and so forth, as any bid would. Yeah, I mean, there's not really a whole lot to kind of walk through the bids, I suppose. They do use different units, but I'm not a plumber. I don't really know the difference between the different units that are being proposed. I got to think they're both 96% efficiency or higher, which is what the grant will cover. So yeah, in my opinion, the 44,000 for the DeCamp bid, and then the James bid was $34,000. So correct me if I'm wrong, but James is the current fuel supplier.
That's correct.
Okay.
That company's been with us for a long time.
Sure. Yeah, I met Tony
Yes.
on site, and we walked, throughout the basement, around the building. We were there for probably an hour and a half or so. I feel good about really both bids. They're both right around kind of where we're seeing bids for this project come up, statewide, I guess, outside of Chittenden County, really. We have another one in region in Halifax, and that came up just a little bit less than the James bid, but these would both be considered competitive bids for what we're seeing across the program. For me, I think James being your current servicer, it makes sense to go with them, long-term servicer at that. And also DeCamp references, let's see, oil tank needs to be pumped out by the fuel supplier. So that's James, kind of cut out that middleman. So for me, the James bid is the more attractive, outside of a strict price consideration. You have that relationship by all accounts. it's valuable to the town. So our recommendation would be to go with James bid.
Well, so $10,000 lower. So
Yeah, $10,000 less.
That certainly helps. Absolutely.
Does the board have any questions for Michael? On these bids? Or do you have any questions
I mean,
for the board?
they're written a little differently, but in your review, you think they're pretty much apples to apples on the materials and the work.
Was that a question for me? I couldn't hear.
Yeah, so the materials and the work are pretty much similar. There's no variation. They're written differently, so it's a little hard to tell on the fly, but in your review, you think they're comparable?
Yeah, I mean, we asked for the installation of a new high efficiency propane boiler, and that's what we're getting for sure. So that was what the grant would pay for. So that's what when I made my phone calls, that's what we asked for, and they certainly both delivered. Like you said, the $10,000 difference is certainly notable, and I think that I think the unit itself is cheaper, and they might also charge a bit less in labor. James is.
Yeah.
So
Well,
both would require a 50%, kind of down payment before the work would be started. So yeah, other than that, there's not a whole lot of difference here. The other MERP related projects are kind of being slow walked so that we can figure the boiler out first, because this is the biggest project. It's the biggest expense that'll come out of the grant. So once we get this squared away, we'll move on to the windows.
One question, who's the beneficiary of the $10,000 savings?
Sorry?
Who is the beneficiary? What happens to the $10,000 difference between these two proposals?
Gotcha. It'll go into the windows, and if we have any money left over, there'll be some ADA work that's done. If after both the windows and the ADA work gets done, I will look through your audit and see what else we can spend that money on. But the money doesn't go back to the town or anything of that nature. So we want to try to spend it all if we can.
Great. Well, being as our current provider and what's I would recommend.
I would too. Sorry. Any other discussion? Is there a motion? I'll make a motion to secure this bid with James and James, if everyone's in agreement. All in favor of James and James?
Aye.
Sorry.
Thank you, Anna, to install and remove the old furnace, put in the new furnace. And all that's required for $34,475. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion's passed.
Great.
So Morgan, do we have to sign anything else with this agreement? Okay.
Nope, I think we're good. So Mike, do you need anything else from the board on that?
Nope. If you could send me the minutes when you get them,
Yeah.
just for our own documentation. I don't think we really need them, but I kind of like to have that document if possible. I'll give James a call and we'll get this rolling.
Great, thank you.
Morgan, do you have any dates when they're gonna do this?
No, I think Mike will communicate with them and then we'll work with him
Okay.
on time limit and I'll let the board know.
Thank you, Michael.
Yes, ma'am. Have a good night, all.
You too. Travis, welcome.
Last week, we were very heavy to the grant work up on Kidder Hill. We managed to get all three of the culverts that we got covered from the ground functional. This week, we're just following up and stone lining some ditches, and then we will head for the next grant, which is Holdenville. 120 was the limit line. We did have a rainy day last week, we ended up doing some shop cleanup organization, and we also hauled in some gravel.
Can you explain a little bit more on Houghtonville, that grant?
Yes, that one is also 3 culverts. That need to be installed with some stone line ditching by September 30.
So both were due by the end of September.
Which road is that? Is that on Stagecoach or?
121.
It's right on 121?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it's literally the last culvert before the town line.
okay,
And working their way back.
at the bottom of the hill there?
Yep.
It's a pretty long section, it's almost to the pavement, yeah. And that's a Better Roads grant program.
Okay. And do you have to close any of the roads?
Kidder Hill we did, for the 3 we did up there, but 121 shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, so you put notification up way before,
I communicated with Max.
instead of what happened in the other town?
Very excited to get this work on.
Well, wish you well with that, it's a lot of work. But thank you. Anything else that we need to know about equipment?
Absolutely.
Any other comments from the board for Travis?
Yeah, should we discuss paving, whether we're gonna do anything this year or not?
I would recommend we put it out to bid soon and get on the list for spring. My suggestion. That way the paving would happen when it's warm out. And when we met with Jeff, he said that traffic is your best friend in paving, so having the traffic rules warm out, versus trying to beat winter. I think you'd get a nice job, and I think the bids would be more competitive for spring work.
Yeah, let's just combine the budget a little bit too, right, for this year, next year.
You'd have another $120,000 to put in it.
But it would be nice to get on their schedule for next year.
Mrs. Basin, right? Was this a Basin thing?
Jeff was the base.
Yeah.
Of things, yeah.
Anything else for Travis?
What are our steps to put it out to bid, is that you work with the board? Okay,
Yeah, we pretty much have the specs written up, we have them for the next meeting. Or is that too early? Okay.
okay.
Committee reports, anything from cemetery?
Peter and I are pretty much meeting every week, to, do follow-ups. Last week, I reported out a bit, I won't worry everyone with the same update. But I did do a follow-up, at the fire station where we're doing maintenance, just kind of getting a temperature for, volunteers. That might wanna work on the fences, and there's quite a few people, that would be willing to work if we can figure out the liability waivers. And I know, Peter, you've done some follow-up on that, it seems like there is an option for that. Ivor especially has a, post hole digger, tractor, that he said he would, be willing to support. And that would be one of the harder parts, depending on what rocks you run into, at Houghtonville. I did ask about fencing companies, if there were recommendations. And interestingly, there's not a lot around here. Springfield Fence, I guess, is going out of business. The guy's kind of retiring. There's nothing else super close that, people seem to consider reliable. And if you hire somebody farther away, it's more expensive. Ivor said that he usually gets his materials at Tractor Supply, and you can order them, pretty reasonably. So if we did that and use volunteers, I think we could do Houghtonville for a reasonable cost. Maybe, for materials, if we do you know, again, just the, alongside the roads with the two sections of cemetery. And then the section by the drive, maybe 2 to 3 thousand for materials and then volunteer work. Peter's done a lot of reconnaissance on the village cemetery. And has done pictures and kind of a estimate of the shape of the fence. And it's kind of a hodgepodge in the village where there's a picket fence, there's 2 rails on stone, there's 2 rails on wood. Some of it's just laying on the ground, some of it needs some repair. You know, again, I think the hardest part would be doing the fence poles. And probably more material for that one. You know, looking at it. So. You're looking questioning, but.
No, intent.
But I would say, you know, that one would probably be, I don't know, 5,000, but I'm guessing, you know, we'd have to look into materials. So we think we could get in under 10, you know, maybe 8 to 10 somewhere, again, if we're using volunteers. And I think there is a path to do that. I am supposed to be writing a note to the Vermont Cemetery Association or the rehabilitation, the group that does volunteer work. I have not done it yet, but I will get it done just to see if they have any interest or availability next summer. You know, that's the group that did the work in Westminster West at the cemetery there. And you know, they have the experience, the knowledge, so you know, seeing if we can pull them into Grafton and get involved in, you know, on a rotation of that group. So that's kind of where we are. We'll continue to investigate. Just pulling everything together. I don't know if we'll get it this year, but I think we've got a plan evolved that we can formalize and then start trying to put some dates on.
Have you thought about putting something in the Grafton News for volunteers or anticipating?
I might, but I think I might have pretty good luck just going to the fire station, so hey, who's available? And there's a lot of
Pretty
a lot of
strong
people hanging
guys.
out there. Yeah. But yeah, we don't want to limit it, you know, we can do that and make sure we invite people once we have a target date. You know, and I'd probably, the people that might be willing to volunteer equipment, I might ask what works for them and then try to arrange the rest around it. Because having the right equipment will make it go very, smoothly.
I know in the past we had a volunteer form for folks to fill
Yeah.
out.
I think Morgan has showed that.
Yep, we still have that, and I double checked with VLCT and it's still accurate for what we need.
And the type of fencing, have you thought about?
In Houghtonville, there's split rail
Split rail.
and match what's already there. And there's probably some repair as well. Some repair's been done and it actually looks good. But there's a few rails that are down. But I think having it symmetrical, so it's all split rail makes sense. And then in the village cemetery, you know, that's an interesting question because it's very, you know, it's picket fence here and then it's, you know, 2 board here. And then it's just, there's 100 feet where there's no fence at all.
Yeah, but to pass those pictures, I think down. Probably don't know.
You kind of have a look at what Peter kind of reported. And where it's kind of in poor shape, bare shape. And then part of it actually has stone posts for the fence, which is interesting.
There are a number of those. There's some that are, what goes up on Middletown Road is terrifically strong and good and handsome. Coming more from the south side, it's fairly good. It gets tougher as you move around on the east, and then it's really messed up on the north, which is bordered by Sally Warren's property.
Yeah.
There's a possibility if there's indication the board supports this without commitment to have it begin a conversation with Sally about whether she'd be interested in participating somehow. Which she may be, or at least let her know what's going on.
Yeah.
And we, Peter had been to Cobb, we went up there a couple of weeks ago and that's kind of a stone wall, so that's really, I think that one's fun. And then, Middletown, I really gotta go back and look at it again, just to see where it is. But you can see on those pictures, some of it, it's just laying on the ground, really needs some attention. But, I think it's something for the town just to, keep the maintenance up going forward, yes. Like, it's just been a number of years since, it's really been tended to. That's where we are right now, and I'll do a little more with actual estimates. Peter's done a great job on doing lengths. So now I think we can start putting some numbers to it. And then think about dates. And volunteers.
The town also has an account with WW in Newfane. I don't know if we get a huge discount, but it might be worth getting prices from that too.
Okay. Yeah, if we get to that point, and Tractor Supply I just mentioned because, Ivor mentioned that if they have a good selection. But yeah, we'll look around and see what we can get some good prices. And it varies depending on, the length of board, you get them like 8 to 12. And then, different qualities, depending on if you want just regular boards or cedar, whatever. So,
Yeah, that's a nice package that you put together. We could
Right.
probably
we can
have,
print it on that.
yeah, probably have copies for folks if they want. That
Oh,
and,
yeah, is anybody interested in seeing it? I mean, pass me on.
Peter, that's a lot of legwork,
So I wasn't,
a lot of legwork for you.
I got out of there, came back.
I have pictures also on my camera, but I didn't walk the whole thing, I just took it from a distance. Thank you.
Well, I said, you can talk to Travis as to what he could do with the land over on 35 to help you out.
No, I have it on the list and I have not done any of that, so, do you need to do that?
Was that all right?
Peter and I have talked about it briefly, but, as it's being there, we need to do it and then we haven't gotten it right yet.
It's just that we can be in touch with, if he has some spare time, he can work on that road or whatever.
Okay, all right,
That's what we were doing before.
I can maybe come see you this week, in the morning before you're out and about.
There's a fair amount of real estate on Houghtonville, where, that could satisfy demand for fair plots for some time ahead. Particularly since they're getting, smaller. They're more, it requires less room for urns.
Yeah. If, a burial has the traditional casket, can they put an urn with that too? That plot?
And where,
The traditional, casket, full burial, can they have also an urn with that?
well, those are policies that ought to be taken a look at. At this point, there's. What the town has in the file are some fairly straightforward, permissions, and there's some flexibility.
The only reason I ask that, because they do that in Weston with their burials, they can have traditional
Right.
full with, like the plot would include two,
Yes.
one being the traditional.
Right.
Any other questions for Peter or Buzz? Thank you, and we'll await more updates. And that, thank you. Anything from Parks Committee?
I don't have anything.
Yeah. Highway,
Quiet, but
personnel, I don't have anything right now. Any flood updates from July 2023? No. Number 8, appoint town representative for law enforcement governance council. About a month or so ago, we had Mark Anderson come and explain that. and John Gregory did step up to be our representative. And there is a meeting coming up on Friday morning. So I need a motion to appoint John Gregory to this board. Any discussion before we do a motion? Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to appoint John. I'd be interested, but I can't do daytime meetings right now.
Do I have a second? Hey, all in favor of appointing John Gregory as a representative for Grafton, the town of Grafton, for the Law Enforcement Governance Council?
All right.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. John, thank you very much for stepping up. Brattleboro Memorial Hospital Birthing Center resolution. I know it came to my attention from Athens, the town of Athens. And I think, Morgan, you might have more information on this.
Yeah, we had also received a letter from the town of Brattleboro with a draft resolution. And it looks like, obviously Brattleboro, the town of Brattleboro signed it, as well as the town of Athens. And so I just took that draft and really just changed the top to say the town of Grafton. And added select board names and the date. We can amend it, we can sign it as is, we also don't have to sign it at all, it's just there if it's something the board wants to do.
Well, what does the resolution say?
In here.
Do you want me to read all of it?
No, just what is it?
It essentially just, well, I'll read the 3 bullet points. It says the town of Grafton Select Board, the first one strongly recommends the Brattleboro Memorial Hospital do everything within its power to maintain robust birthing center services in Brattleboro for the benefit of the region. Number 2 is encourages the Vermont Agency of Human Services, the governor's office, the Green Mountain Care Board, and the state legislative delegation to act in support of rural maternal medical care in general and to prevent the closure of this birthing center in particular. And then the 3rd one urges its residents to choose Brattleboro Memorial Hospital first for medical services so that the birthing center can be adequately subsidized.
My only comment, if I might, is number 3. I think urging residents to choose Brattleboro Memorial Hospital is fine. I don't know if I'd say first. I just urge them to consider Brattleboro Memorial Hospital for medical services. I strongly support the birthing center, but I think I'm not completely comfortable saying go there first. People should obviously make their own decisions, which I think they do.
My position on that number 3 is a little harsher. I think there's a very odd connection to be made by this select board and urging people to make medical decisions. So I would suggest eliminating the 3rd. It just is not appropriate. It doesn't seem to me that we would want to step into that recommendation. It's possible that the town could even be liable if somebody's down there and gets bad treatment.
I agree with you, Peter.
Yeah, I have no objections to that. I would like to.
We'll do number 3 and then I'll sign it. Crystal was talking about that at the school meeting that, you know, she is pregnant right now and she's talking about it's a dramatic impact on her and how far she may have to travel. Supposedly. Yeah.
So can that be changed?
Yep, I just changed it, I just gotta print it.
I'm sorry, Morgan, I couldn't understand you. What'd you say?
Sorry, I just changed it, I just need to print it, and then, Anna, I can have it in the office for you to sign when you're back in town.
Great. So that would be with removing number 3?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I'd support that.
Any other thoughts from the board?
My question was just going to be, I wanted to understand, did you mean to eliminate the third bullet? Is that what you were saying?
The third
Yeah,
bullet point,
okay,
the whole thing,
no, the third bullet of the three
Yes.
bullets.
eliminate it.
Yeah, that's, I just wanted to clarify that that's what you were saying, because it's sometimes hard to hear. Yes.
I just did a route off the printer. Okay.
Do you need a motion?
Well, our minutes person is gone, so we want to take a minute. A minute for the minutes.
Or just taking a little break, Anna, because she's gone down to get it off the printer.
Okay, sorry.
For the record, item number 3 is removed.
I'm sorry about it?
For the record, item number 3 has been removed.
Thank you.
I just wonder if there needs to be a motion.
We haven't done it yet, we're waiting for it to be printed, it's all printed.
Okay.
So having removed item 3, do we have a motion to accept the resolution with the change?
I'll move to accept the resolution with item 3 removed.
I'm gonna have a second.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? If none, all those in favor of the resolution for the Brattleboro Memorial Hospital Birthing Center, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, Anna. Okay, item 10, septic pumping ordinance, second reminder letters. Morgan.
So a couple months ago, we sent the first round of letters to properties that are due for pumping this year. And so this is just a second reminder to those that have not submitted a receipt, and those receipts are due in the office by October 1st. There's about 30 properties still to be pumped this year.
Any questions from the board?
When we remove the sheet.
We've gotten quite a few so far, so I'm sure off the top of my head, I think we started with about 50 due this year. So the reminder letters I think are effective for sure.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Morgan. Okay, for year 27, municipal planning grant, municipal regional form, and good standing certificates.
So the Grafton Planning Commission will be applying for the municipal planning grant to get funds for working on updating the town plan. And the first step is for the select board to sign the municipal resolution form. And then the good standing certificate. The good standing certificate just needs to be signed by Kathy. And then the resolution is by the whole board.
Okay, any questions from the board?
So does this one need a vote?
Yes, they, yeah, if we could do a motion for the board to sign those two forms, that would be great.
Do I have a motion to sign the municipal resolution form and in good standing certificate for FY 27 municipal planning grant?
Oh,
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor of accepting the grant?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
This one's just me.
Okay, we have the appointment, number 12, Development Review Board Alternative. And I understand we have 2 applicants. One is Clayton Thompson and the other is Tom McDermott, is that correct? Do you have anything that you want to put up on the screen of their interests? I think, Tom, you're here. Hi, welcome. Do you want to speak about your application and?
I can give a background.
Sure.
Where I come from. So,
And use the mic.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you for coming.
my wife and I bought a property here in Grafton about 8 years ago. We used it as.
Could you just press the button? Perfect. That's good.
We bought property here on the road about 8 years ago. We came here to get, increase the maintenance of some place. 2 years ago, we started building a house. That's complete now. We sold our house in Boston in April, so we've been here for since then. My career started, I went to green architecture. Worked as an architect for 15 years, then changed to construction and did large commercial construction for 25 years. So sat on the opposite side of the table of a lot of development boards in my career. We plan to be here for a long time. We're not going anywhere. We have nowhere else to go. So I think that my background could help the town. I think my past experience could be of value, and I'd like to help. So
Thank you.
that's all I have to say.
And I know Clayton could be here tonight because he's teaching an engineering class from 6 to 8 at the community college. Do you have his letter that you could read since he's not here?
Yeah.
I think I have it here.
Okay.
If it's still loading.
I'll. You have to load.
Yeah, it says, Dear Chair Kathy Siano Goodwin and members of the Select Board. This is dated July 30th, 2026. I am writing to express my interest in the open alternate position on the Grafton Developmental Review Board. Having served on the Planning Commission for the past several months, I have gained valuable experience with our town's planning process, and I'm eager to further contribute to the careful review of the development proposals that support the long-term well-being of our community. As a mechanical engineer and small business owner in town, I bring practical, detailed, oriented approach to evaluating projects. My experience on the planning commission has strengthened my understanding of site considerations and balance between responsible growth and preserving Grafton's rural character. I am committed to apply that perspective fairly and thoroughly in the development review process. I would be honored to serve as an alternate on the development review board and would welcome the opportunity to discuss any interest further. Thank you for your time and your consideration. Clayton Thompson. Okay. Any other additions or comments from anybody?
I would offer one comment. I think adding candidates for volunteer positions come in person and make a presentation and offer an opportunity for engagement with the board is very important. I've mentioned that before. Is there any reason that it's a little bit unfair, perhaps, how it took the initiative to come the way that you did, Tom? It was important to get acquainted, to defer and provide a fuller opportunity at the next meeting for this is a rare circumstance to actually have competition for one of these positions. It's terrific. So rather than effectively make a blind choice or maybe an unfair bias, to just defer it for a couple of weeks, see if that can work.
Yeah, I don't have any qualms about that. That's why I wanted to read his letter. That he did show interest, but that's fine. Any other comments from the board?
I have a question.
Sure.
How will this appointment come about? Do we vote on it, or I've not done this before as a board member. Do we just simply decide, go around the room and decide? Do we have another dialogue internally? How's that process work?
Well, I think Peter's suggesting that we can put it off till our next select board meeting.
Yeah, I heard that part. I just meant then.
Well, we have appointed folks before.
Okay.
When we have the list is published, we get folks that say yes or nay, and then there's an opening. In this case, there's two folks decided they are interested. So it is part of the board's job to appoint. But we're grateful to have Tom here today explaining his interest. And unfortunately, it was short notice for Clayton because he teaches. If he had more warning, he'd probably be here. So if we give him fair warning to come, that's also something we can consider.
I understand that and I support that. My question was, how is the appointment process done? Is it a vote? Is it a secret ballot? Do we just discuss it openly? I don't know how that is, especially because we have competition. So I would just curious how that is done.
I would offer my experience, particularly in Charlotte and some other communities elsewhere, conducting a conversation through executive session is a reasonable and favored way to try to come to discuss with the board, to do it in a legitimately contained way, and then make a decision and announce it.
Now, Bill?
Thank you.
This isn't a matter for executive session. By law, this is a matter.
Okay.
No, what we've always done before is we took the list. You guys stand up and say who you want to appoint. That's it. And you vote, and that's what you do, you vote. But to do it executive session, I mean, why? There's nothing in the law that allows for you to do that. Personnel matters are an executive session for obvious reasons. There might be like a court battle later on, but not this.
And that is what provides for an opportunity to come in under the statute in a personnel matter to make this appointment, whether it's a personnel decision that's volunteer or someone who's being paid, it becomes not an obstacle.
This isn't a paid position. Right?
Bill, I'm familiar with the DRB and, but the alternate, are they filling in when you're unavailable? Is that their primary duty or what exactly is the alternate's doing?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Please.
Just so I understand the alternate role, is that like if you're unavailable, it will take.
However, you absolutely do it. I mean, you could say, appoint a personnel committee to interview them, but then have them come in and talk to you, or all of you.
Oh, no, I'm asking about their duties, their role. Are they taking the responsibility if you're unavailable? Or do they have other things?
They are. They're making a decision they are a, what do you call it? They're a court of law. What do they call it? Judicial, they're the judiciary branch of the thing. They make a decision based on quasi judicial committee.
Okay, so they work in conjunction with you. They're not.
I do the application, make sure the application is complete. I present it to them at that meeting. The applicant also talks at the meeting. Anybody who wants to be heard on the matter, especially it's especially important for the people who have an objection to anything that is being approved, that they be heard on the matter. And then the DRB then makes a decision, a vote of whether they approve the application or not.
Okay.
But the alternate is called upon if there's not a quorum.
That's right.
Okay.
We have five members and two alternates, and the alternates take position if somebody else can't make it. Because we don't have regular meetings, what I, just so you know, the way I work the process and hopefully among somebody else you work in the process, but the way I do it is when the person comes in, I tell them if I know they're interested in doing it, I say, give me your application before the 20th of the month so that I can call the DRB, see if I can get a time everybody can agree, or if they can't, the alternative, so I get five people if I can.
Yeah.
And then I can put it in the paper on the first of the month. That's the way I work it and try to have the hearing by the 20th of the next month. So.
Yeah, and that's helpful, and it kind of leads me to the next question.
Okay.
Is there any reason we wouldn't have three alternates to make sure that you always have a quorum? We have two candidates, I think they're both good.
Well, no, I was going, I'd probably have to change the regulation.
Okay, I'm just asking, I'm not saying we need to do it.
Yeah,
I was curious.
So far it's worked, but once in a while, we only have 4 at the hearing.
Okay.
Yeah, and none of our hearings are that complicated unless we've never had a large subdivision. You know, if we had one with roads and sewers and everything else.
More complicated.
More complicated.
Okay, thank you.
Suzanne?
So, thank you, Kathy. I just did a quick search of the statute for executive section 313. And, what it says verbatim is that, it permits a Vermont public body. It permits a Vermont public body, which means the select board can decide to do this or not, to consider the appointment or employment or evaluation of a public officer or employee. So the appointment is clearly stated in the section. It also states, however, that the discussion of the nominees for public office can take place in executive session, but the vote has to take place in a public meeting. So I think this discussion is not either or but both and it's really up to the select board, the on interpretation, whether you'd like to go into executive session on any consideration of an appointment, but regardless, the vote has to take place in a public meeting.
I would think that you have two qualified people. Why would you go to the extreme of going into executive session? It's very seldom that you have this happen. I mean, the select board, I know in the past, we've come before them and you vote on it. The board
So that's
itself.
great, we have multiple things.
Well, I agree with you, John. I guess I don't see a reason to defer anything, I don't mind someone making a motion to appoint either candidate.
Are we doing it tonight, or did we want
I-
to open Clayton in person? I know that was a point Peter brought up.
What's the board's feeling? Do you want to do it now or later, so you can have Clayton here with Tom? That's fine too. I don't want to confuse people. I don't want to be confused. I'd like to do it fairly. It's fair if you have both candidates.
That's what I was. Just,
So let's defer to our next select board meeting. Do we have, I know we have another agenda. We have agenda items piling up on that, on the 17th. Is there room, or do you want to?
No, I think it's fine, and I can. Should I see if Clayton is available for that and then go from there, but unless otherwise, I think it would make sense to have it on the 17th.
Okay,
we may also want to pursue what Bud was suggesting was. What's the matter with getting 2 for 1?
but Bill was saying, we have to change the regulations, is that correct? You had 2 alternatives?
DRB is consistent in this town, and I'd have to look to see if it's by state law. It's 5 and we have 2 alternates.
I know in the past, trying to get DRB together, sometimes it's hard to get everybody there. If you had 2,
Because we don't have regular meetings,
yeah,
they don't mark their calendar for a certain day. We only meet when it's needed, and that's been at the most 3 times a year. Usually, some years there's no meetings and some years there's 1 or 2. Because it's just for subdivision and for flood, but flood very, very rarely comes up for a meeting before then, because there's not much you can do in the floodplain that anybody wants to apply for
mhm.
a permit.
Bill, that's gonna be from the 20th of August.
Pardon me?
And you're gonna meet
Yeah.
on the 20th of August.
20th of August, we have a meeting, and I only have 4 people for the.
Well, that's what my next question, how many people can make it?
Well, did you say that there was 1 alternate now or not?
There's 1 alternate now, the alternate is making this meeting. The other alternate cannot make the meeting, and and 3 people. 3 members cannot make the meeting, so I have an alternate and 2 members right now for the meeting. But which is, as long as all 3 agree, is enough meeting.
That's kind of going back to my point, why not have more alternates if it's not.
Or replace some of the ones that you already have on there.
I'm not even sure who else is on. But you have a meeting in just a few days, well, that's not gonna be so.
3 days after your meeting.
Oh, okay, all right, so there's a little. But it has to be resolved by the next one.
Yeah,
All right, I would move that we. Have a vote at the next select board meeting, and in the interim, Bill, if you could check the regulation for us.
Mhm.
And determine if we could have 3 alternates, And that would probably make it easier to schedule these meetings,
Yeah,
without any delays. And again, I'm thrilled we have two great candidates,
yeah, it's great.
so that was kind of a wordy motion, but that was kind of.
Win-win.
A win for Grafton. Thank you again, Tom.
Is there a second out there, second?
Okay, do we have a second to Buzz's motion?
I'll second it. All those in favor of appointing an alternative DRB member at our next select board meeting, all in favor?
Aye.
Any objection? Okay, motion passed.
Kathy, did you include in that motion that there would, if a way could be found, there might be a second alternate appointed as well?
I did not, but can amend that to include what Buzz mentioned, that Bill would further look into the regulations for the DRB to have 3 alternative alternates.
Got it.
Did you get that?
Yes.
Okay. Any other business? Just have a comment, the select boards of Athens and Grafton, along with the school board, met last week for a meeting. I thought it was a great discussion. And, upcoming meeting will be August 12th for a community, meeting with the community at 6, and at 5, a meet and greet the new principal, Heather Doxey Willis. Any public comment?
Hi, this is Charles Bonin. As to the boiler, has there been any consideration of the difference in the price as to the manufacturer of the boiler and the warranties that come with it?
I would expect that Michael looked at that, and I know we trust, James and James. He knows this building well, of what he's putting in, but I think we would have all those specs with, that boiler.
He didn't go into that detail, but he did say they were comparable, Charles.
He did. I just wondered if we looked at the manufacturer. I mean, there's Carrier, there's Lennox, there's Train,
Mhm.
and it could be that one of them is not giving the same warranty that the other one is, that's charging $10,000 more.
Right.
But I'm sorry, I guess I should have realized that he was an expert, so I don't want to interfere. I just,
We can check on it though, Charlie. I think that's a good point.
Just to note, of the 10,000, half was the hardware, half was the labor. So the difference in the equipment is 5,000.
okay, thank you.
Still, that's what it is. You think?
And part of that is pumping the tank up.
Yeah, pumping the
That is
tank
a
out.
good point. Also, part of that was pumping the tank out, which she said the one company would have James do. So, yeah, so that brings it probably even a little closer. But good question.
Thank you.
Any other comments? If not, next regular meeting is Monday, August 17th, 2026 at 6
Oh,
PM.
I'm sorry, Kathy, one comment.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bill.
I looked at 4460B, says that DRB can be anywhere from 3 to 9 persons
Wow.
as determined by the select board. I would presume that, but the select board presumed made that decision, so you'd have to find out where that decision is and change it if you want to, or you can decide right now that it is now 5 members and 3 alternates, make that motion, and then appoint both Clayton and.
I move that we reopen the discussion. Thanks to Bill, and we vote to appoint 2 additional alternates, Clayton Thompson and Tom McDermott.
I'll second that. And the citation, 24 VSA 4460,
With a citation.
B, parentheses,
Oh, you
B,
lost me.
and
Do you have that citation?
I got it.
Under that citation.
All right, thank you, Bill. Thank you, Buzz.
And Peter, did you second that? Okay.
So all in favor of this motion to accept Clayton Thompson and
Tom McDermott.
Tom McDermott for DRB alternates. Ah,
Aye.
any opposed? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passed. Thank you, Tom again. Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill, and thanks, Tom.
Okay, our next meeting is August 17th at 6 p.m. I need a motion to move into executive session, 1 VSA 3131F, confidential attorney-client. Communication made for the purposes of providing professional legal services to the body, which is the town. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second, do I have a second? John? All in favor of the
Aye.
executive session?
Okay, point of order, Madam Chair, that there are opportunity for discussion. Before the vote.
For executive session? Any reason?
Yes, I sent all of you a note about the posting of this executive session.
Yes. And I responded to you along with Morgan. And if you look at the F, confidential attorney-client communication made for the purpose of providing professional legal services to this body. That's why we're going into executive session. Okay?
And I am not disputing that at all. But what I'm asking about is that the posting for executive session seems to indicate that the nature of the business of the executive session needs to be stated. And so it seems to me that legal services is not really the nature of the executive session. There needs to be a topic of some sort that frames the work that is going to be done in this executive session.
Yes, Bill.
The very first part of it, confidential attorney-client communications, that's the topic. Made for the purpose of providing professional legal service. What the topic is, confidential attorney-client communication.
Okay, so what you're saying, Bill, is because it says confidential attorney-client communications, that's enough to fulfill the requirements of the posting?
That's what state law said, that's that paragraph F under the state law.
Look, I'm not trying to pick a fight here. What I'm trying to do is what we all want to do, which is to have good governance and follow the regulations that we have as Vermonters established in the way we conduct our meetings. Now, as I looked into this, what I read is that when the motion says confidential attorney-client communications, either the attorney needs to be personally present for that executive session, or the attorney needs to have a Zoom meeting with, or a phone meeting with the select board during the executive session. Has such an communication channel with the attorney been established
Mhm.
for this executive session?
We should have.
Thank you. I appreciate your consideration. Thank you, sir.
Now you vote to go into executive session.
Okay, motion's on the floor. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of executive session? Any opposed?
I would be on that. I would be on value on the last.
You outlasted my output. But we're out of executive session. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. And I'm sorry, is this supposed to be a motion, I'm saying?
Yes.
Or just, okay. So the motion is, when we're in executive session, we reviewed a letter from our attorney. That was potentially going to be sent to a property owner. We agreed that the letter was not appropriate for the circumstances. Kathy is going.
I didn't hear the first part.
We reviewed a letter that had been drafted by our attorney and Morgan working together. We reviewed it as a board. We agreed it wasn't appropriate to send to a landowner. We are contacting the attorney to get additional information and next steps. And then we'll reconvene on the topic. Did I capture everything?
Yep.
And a second on that?
All those in favor?
Alright.
Aye.
And I know it's vague, but it was a confidential letter that we reviewed and looked at the detail and we're not sending it until we get better information from the.
Now, motion to adjourn.
Well,
Well, I thank you, Buzz. I trust you. You know, there comes a point.
nothing nefarious, I
Yeah.
will say personally. you know.
Yeah, no, I get it. And I trust your integrity, your ethics, and if you're saying that this matter is one that does not have a topic associated with it for all the right reasons, then I trust you. And I thank you for your deliberation.
Thanks.
So anything else, Morgan? We're all set?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Right.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.